Hey, welcome to Immersion RPG on the Chaos Knight Network. We are playing some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We are on our 14th session. And we'll do a quick recap here. Last we left our heroes, and the heroes in this particular story, they have found out, are basically the gods stripped of their divinity and working to find some way to fix that, hopefully. And right now they are journeying to a location on the ocean where a temple to the moon goddess, Sehanine, lies underwater. Once was at the top of a mountain peak, and the peak crumbled in the destruction that hit the world. But within this temple, there is a way, they're told, to teleport to the moon, where they can then journey to the main temple of Sehanine and free her, because she is currently imprisoned there in a stasis chamber.
We're gonna take the moonbeam.
Yep. So, I forgot to give out XP last week, so I'm going to quick give out 600 XP to everybody. What does that put you guys at?
79.
Oh yeah, math.
Math is hard.
I got you.
Abstract idea somebody told me about once.
What are you guys at?
79.
79, okay. And that's great, because it's only 14,000 to go up to 6th level.
Wow.
So we're basically there.
Right?
With
couple goblins. And
Okay, just seeing where it's at.
Drumtoin's math skills, we're like right there.
Right? I'll be past it actually.
So, yeah, where we left off, you guys had stockpiled a bunch of provisions, gotten on a ship, one of the Dragon Master ships, and started sail towards this location. You have a map to go off of. You have a chart, basically, that you're following to get there. And on the way, once again, the insidious shark people, the Sahuagin, boarded your ship with a few really corrupted humans and did battle on the ship. And you guys were victorious after a really bloody fight. And I believe that's exactly where we left off. And so we're going to pick up from that exact point. Blood still dripping from your weapons as the last of the foes was vanquished. What are you guys doing?
Trying not to drown.
That's right, you were in the water, weren't you?
Yeah.
I throw him a rope.
All right. It doesn't take much to get him back onto the boat.
Okay.
Little delayed reaction going in the water after Dava there.
Well, Dava was on the mast.
I know.
Dava came back up on her own. I
But
have this really pretty cloak.
at one point we had, when you went in, I asked if he was going to get you.
I got me.
You got out.
Hey, I got him.
It was a good thing we spotted those guys early, and at least we're a little bit aware of their presence before we got jumped. I think
Yeah,
we
that-
need to stay ready.
Vigilant.
Yeah, vigilant.
Yeah, because that hurt.
The
Mhm.
first time we encountered them, didn't they mention that there was something about like an area of theirs that they were extorting the Dragon Masters too, if I remember right?
Yes.
Is this about the same distance out that we were, but we're in a
About
different direction though, right?
Yes.
So they have like almost like
A ring.
yeah.
There's a perimeter that
That's how you cordon in people, is you.
Right. All right. So I have to remember that when we come back.
I healed Dava.
Okay.
I'm
Eventually
back
we'll
up
have
to
deal with that.
24 hit points.
Especially when we start to bring lots of people back.
yeah.
We'll either have to put into it or find peace somehow or something.
Mm.
And you guys are left
With
pretty.
the shark people?
Something. That's why I say or something.
Boss hurt pretty bad too.
Yeah, I can attend to my wounds.
People got hurt.
when we get a chance. So, heck yeah.
I'm small and they grabbed me with tentacles. It was gross.
Should maybe think about using your bow sometimes.
But did you see how cool it was when I jumped off from the mast and stabbed him through the eye?
Did you see how big that shark was? 'Cause
Yeah,
I
it was
did.
terrifying. That was like half a bite, and then I'd be gone forever.
Can I give my heal surge to somebody else?
No.
For my second wind.
I'm just never going to hit you again, so that ability is wasted.
Really?
My dice are helping with
I have that too, so
that. He already took it, sorry. Corlin, what are you doing?
Getting out the map to figure out where we are and how close we are to the.
Okay. Now, refresh my memory, guys. Was this the first day at sea or the second?
this was the first evening.
That's what I
left
thought.
that
Because
You
we
guys
were
left a little late.
Asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the storm woke us up.
They took
That's-
a long time.
Yep. So do you guys like set up watches that night, or what are you planning on doing?
I'm a little tired, but I wasn't actually hurt, so I can stay up and
I slept into the afternoon, so I am not yet tired, and I could take the first watch easily.
I think we're about halfway through like a normal rest. aren't we?
Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
a little more beat up. Getting some more sleep when
When
when hurt your
Non-boss
feelings.
actually beat up.
Amboth is actually beat up.
Always.
yeah.
I'm gonna get you new dice one of these days
Nope. It's okay.
until you throw them across the room.
They're gonna do amazing. I got rid of the bad.
Well, if nobody
they're
minds,
still in
I
here.
think I might go back.
No,
to
they got moved to production, but yeah, we found your dice a couple days later.
I didn't even use a spell slot. Okay.
They roll 20s every time for somebody else, so
Our viewers can't see it, but we put up a large dice screen on the end of the table to stop him from throwing dice that way. So
it won't stop them. They're gonna come at the
it'll
DM now.
it'll just go over the screen.
Through the screen, maybe. Well, I'm gonna use this chance definitely to rest up, then tend my wounds and finish the long rest.
go
Okay.
sleep.
I'm gonna patrol the outer edges of the boat.
We'll go back to
Just
bed.
walk around the outside of the boat. You
Not
could.
the actual outside, but because I don't want the shark to come out of the
Big
water.
fish to come up and get you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that would
I'm-
never happen
I'm bait size.
twice. Well, the night goes by pretty uneventful. Like you guys get sailing like after defeating the Sahugin that you encountered, you're kind of on guard, kind of like on edge. But yeah, the night goes by, nothing else seems to occur. You're not seeing as much of the undead either. Like you catch glimpses of movement at some areas, but the globes seem to do their job still and keep them away. And none of them seem bold enough to approach through the glow. And you get into the next day. So yeah, you guys get everyone at that point. You guys through the night will get a chance to get a long rest. You guys will be fully refreshed. Half your hit dice come back.
What kind of equipment were they using? Are they using metal?
No,
No, like coral and
yeah,
bones and
like
stuff.
coral
like
and
that.
bone. Yeah,
I wanted to inspect that just in case it was metal. I was like, what are they treating it with?
no, not metal.
Did Bossman's trinkets look like they were important?
Both important to him,
Did they look religious in nature, or?
somewhat.
Well, that's not my field of expertise.
Garbage, throw it overboard. Back to the sea. Maybe
Yeah.
the shark will eat it.
Blue water all around. You guys see like small little tiny islands here and there that look like mountain peaks that are just coming above the water. And you know you're getting close to them because you know that the temple was over a mountain range. It was on the highest peak in the range. The day just, goes by. Miles go behind you as you sail on. And the weather does clear up, like the storminess subsides, and you get it's blue skies with a few large clouds here and there, but no storm clouds. Definitely seems like you're in a calm area, and the wind stays fairly true for you as well.
Okay.
And so, the sailing's easy. I mean, for a skilled sailor like yourself, it's
Yeah.
no problem at all.
You're
I mean,
actually
you're becoming a skilled sailor at this point.
you're proficient now, right?
I think it takes a little more practice.
In a couple
like
days.
6 days
Yeah.
on the sea.
He's got this.
I mean, we had him sail a
Days,
raft.
years, whatever.
I mean, it's actually been a couple of weeks between a couple of days now, but you guys were at sea for over a week the first time.
Right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So it's coming up on like 2 weeks, yeah.
New canon. Palor,
Right.
god of light and sun and seas.
Wow. If I get sun and seas.
That's a lot.
It's, and then yeah, you start to get to the area. You're following the charts very closely, trying to like make sense of them, and do you have survival as a skill?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you go ahead and make a survival check for me. The DC is only 10 to follow the chart because it is pretty detailed, but there is still a chance for error. Misreading somebody's notes.
I needed a 4 and I rolled a 3.
There is that chance for error.
I think we're going the wrong way.
How dare you? And I throw him off the
Well,
boat.
my map doesn't match his notes.
Did you roll bad too?
What do I need?
A 10?
Yeah, I don't know where the hell we are.
Do I have a proficiency point?
On
In survival? It'd be on survival.
No. I'm sorry, an inspiration point.
Oh, an inspiration point? I think you guys all have an
Yeah,
inspiration
but
point.
nobody's used them in a while.
You got to use them
Right.
before you roll, though.
You're not gonna let me do that.
I'm not. You guys get, you think you're on course. It's hard to tell for certain. You think the certain islands and landmarks, but things do change. I mean, there are still upheavals in the world, and
Mhm.
but as it gets close to the sun going down, you start to get the feeling that you are a bit off course. That it's like, okay, now you're starting to see things that are definitely not in his notes, and you're like,
Okay.
we should have taken a left 3 islands ago.
The stars are out. They're a little more charted.
Yeah, exactly. As the sun's going down, it's getting darker, and you're like, oops. It's like, we're not heading directly the right direction.
Okay.
The sun should be going down there, not there. So I'll let you make another survivor roll to get back on track, but you have lost a few hours of time.
This time I got the 10.
Okay.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Are those my dice?
None of your guys' dice need to come over here.
I don't know if I should sit between them.
Right.
And so, with Palor at the helm, you do eventually get to the area, and you see there's 8 pieces of stone jutting out of the ocean, and you can tell like they all kind of go up. They would eventually have formed a peak of a mountain, but the mountain like collapsed in on itself and left these 8 jagged pieces of rock that strangely and coincidentally seem to like point to the cardinal directions. So you have like your northeast, southwest, and like your
That's
northeast.
handy.
Yeah. So, and you know that the temple used to be at the very peak of this. So, in theory, that's the area you need to sail into. As you see it in the distance, though, and as you start to get up, the wind does pick up a bit, and the waters do get a little bit rougher. The sun is completely set at this point, and you do see the moon up in the sky, but it's between clouds now, and the clouds are moving kind of fast.
Can we see its reflection in the water?
Around you, yeah, but not like in that area, which is
It's too far away. So.
yeah, it's still too far away to tell if that's exactly where you need to be. So I'm going to have you make a sailing check. And I am going to give you proficiency in it because you've been on this boat for a couple days and you've sailed another boat just like this for over a week. So on this particular ship, I'll give you proficiency in it here. And it's going to be to navigate around the big spire rocks and get the ship in between because they're spaced pretty good apart. But with the water rocking and stuff, if you get too far away from the center, there's a chance you're going to damage the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll make it a DC 12. And it's going to be based off of, I think, intelligence is what sailing is going to be based off of.
Okay.
They need a little time.
Wisdom would have been better. But...
Well, yeah.
11.
All right.
Proficiency plus 3, right?
That's how I got to 11.
Dang it. Math.
So things are getting rough, and as you get closer to the rocks, because of how the rocks are affecting the water gets even rougher, and it just kind of catches you off guard how fast the conditions change. And the ship goes up and scrapes that side against the rock. The left side scrapes against and takes out the globe on that side of the boat. And the boat comes up and it scrapes and hits that, and then the boat kind of like has a moment where it starts to tip all the way and then rights itself, but when the other side comes back up, the globe is missing off that side as well.
So
But it
both our
seems
front
so you've
globes-
lost the side globes. You have the front and the back still. But the damage to the ship itself seems very minimal.
So the rope that was attached to it just
Oh
broke
yeah,
in.
just took it. Or something like maybe something grabbed it when it went underwater.
All right, well, it's time to call all hands on deck.
But you get past that, and when you get to the center of this area, the water calms significantly and quickly, and you start calling for them to drop sails and
Do you have an anchor?
drop anchor to. And yeah, who's on lookout?
What time of the day is this?
It's nighttime now.
It's nighttime.
Second
This is
night.
the second
Yep.
night. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll be on ropes.
Yeah, you see the
Well,
full
sails.
moon reflecting in the water, even though it's just a sliver of moon in the sky above you.
I think we are in the right place. How do we plan on getting down there again?
We have some
Potions.
potions,
I
yeah.
have some potions. Why don't you go get them?
Wait,
How long
Okay.
did those last?
I'm just
Chugged
going to
one
note
last
that
time.
he never told us about the potions.
during the
Correct.
day, would I have had time to
So none of us-
start
By
to silver
yourself,
her
aren't you?
rapier?
Right. None of us
Sure.
knew about the
Okay.
potions.
Probably only have time for one weapon, I'm sure, for the whole day.
But
So-
you did see me chugging them around.
Yeah,
so
I just
you
didn't
know
know what
that
they
they
were.
exist.
We didn't know what they were. But I'll go and get them.
So, with your permission, Jermoyne had taken your rapier for part of that day to work on it and improve it.
Okay.
So it is now a silvered +1 rapier.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the modification now prevents it from gaining any of its other properties or advancing any further. So,
Did it on purpose.
finds out he's like, "Oh."
Oh.
Yeah, the boat comes to a stop almost directly in the middle of this kind of just stillness between these 8 peaks coming above the water. The sky still swirls above. You can see the wind pressing and pushing the clouds, but maybe the peaks channel enough of it around it that the wind doesn't seem to blow through here as strong.
Is the boat gonna be okay? Does it matter, I suppose?
Anchored.
I'm not worried about it floating away.
Well, I mean,
He just wants to go to the moon.
I don't think it would be wise to leave any one of us
Yeah,
behind.
no, I agree.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen on the moon.
So, how do we get down there?
I have these. I grabbed the
Just
potion.
kind of just a wrap bandolier full of potion bottles.
What are these?
They will allow us to survive underwater for some time.
How long do we have underwater? We don't know.
I mean, they're a new invention, so
Same as here.
I think so.
With faith we go then.
Are you trained in Arcana?
That's what we have to
Then close that book.
I'm waiting.
I like cast arcane spells.
I mean, you can just take one.
You're not a
I drink
potion master.
You drink it?
And jump in the water.
Okay.
But it is my
I'm
brewer.
following right after him then.
Okay.
So
I'm
I'm
like,
get in
Put
there.
one in your hand and then
You
shove
sink.
off the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, you're covered in armor, right?
Oh, it's gonna be hard to get back up.
Well, there's the anchor. You can climb it.
I mean, getting down's way easier for Amboth though, and for
Me.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll actually lead with my maul. I'll like let it pull me down.
I feel like you're flying.
Yeah, for
So,
a brief moment.
I'm gonna set the extra one down very carefully. I'm gonna wrap it back up and then set it down, kind of tucked away in a corner where it's kind of inconspicuous.
Do we have a spare one since you drank the one?
We're taking the spare with us in case
We don't have a spare anymore.
they
do we?
wear
Yeah,
off.
we don't
Okay.
have a spare anymore because you drank one earlier.
No, we didn't
No,
drink
I did
one.
not.
Oh, okay.
When did he drink?
He didn't.
No one did.
I don't know
Okay.
why you would have.
I thought for some reason.
Dava drank a health potion.
Oh, okay, that's what.
Dava did drink a health potion
Oh yeah, you snuck down and drank out.
because Dava was dying.
Did you bring those with us?
I'm gonna bring the other one with me because I have it.
You don't give us one?
No, he gave me two,
Thank you.
and I have one left. It is in my pouch.
I jump in.
Okay.
Same. And I hold on to Loper just a little bit so he can take me down with
who?
him.
You hold on to who? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Halfway down, he's like, "What's my name again?" He doesn't say. He's like, "Dispel magic."
Oh, so mean.
As you go down, the moonlight filters through the water much farther than it should, and it gives the water kind of a greenish glow. And you descend. I mean, your anchor was at about the length of its 100-foot chain when it caught purchase here. As you go down, you can see it looks like the mountains really just split apart into 8, and then the center just collapsed down and poured out and filled. But the temple stayed relative to where it was on top, and it fell straight down. But the crushed and ruined temple is below you, and that's like there's still a few pillars standing upright, but like they used to support, large sunshades, and those are all gone now, and your anchor's caught onto one of those pillars. And as you get down, you can see where like coral has started to grow up, and so a lot of the area is covered in a variety of living corals. And I mean, it just has a strange raw beauty to it as you go down. And there's fish abound, and you don't see any really large predator fish here. And like there's large schools of fish that just seem like they're doing their thing, and multitude of colors of oranges and blues and reds and greens and purples are going by. And as you guys slowly sink down to the bottom.
Is there any
Entryway?
algae or anything growing?
There's like seaweed and things like that growing down here as well. Whatever enchantment is in the potion seems to also protect you from the crushing weight of the water. So as you get further down, you don't feel the oppression of the water on your shoulders. And yeah, I mean, it's a bit awkward at first, but like you take your first breaths of seawater and you seem to be able to breathe just fine. You expect that sensation of gulping down water, and it's not there.
I'm gonna go search the temple area.
Well, the potion does leave a horrible, oily aftertaste in your mouth. So you get down. Listen, the temple itself looks like it just collapsed in on itself. You guys do remember this temple, though, as you get close to it. You have a general idea of the layout of where the chamber you need to go is. And with all the destruction, you can just swim right over to that area and scout it out.
Well, I'll go that way.
Yep. I'm gonna search that chamber area.
Okay. So you guys will find too, like you say, like let's go over there. That you guys can hear each other as if you were in a room together.
Well, that's good. Talking is good.
Well,
Well, yeah. Opinions.
Is
So-
the water resistance about the same? Like, if you try to
Yes.
walk, it's real slow?
Yes,
Okay.
it is still like that.
Okay. So we'll swim over.
And you are soaking wet. It has not like protected you from the water. Salt water is really good for metal armor.
Yeah.
I work on our stuff a lot.
So yeah, you find like I said the chamber. It was a circular chamber. It's all kind of collapsed in. Now there's really big chunks of stone there, and the structure of the teleport circle looks like it's been damaged. Like it might require a little bit of work to get it up and running again.
Hey, I got a guy for that.
Is anybody trained in stoneworking?
Gosh. Corlon? Maybe you?
It's not outside of my.
Smithing and jewelry.
Okay.
I probably know a little bit about stone, with stone cutting.
Sure, as a dwarf, you
gonna say
understand these things well.
So it's gonna be about 15 minutes of work to get this done. It took you guys about 10 minutes to get to the bottom.
mm-hmm.
I think these potions last about an hour. Maybe longer.
Time to get to work.
Time to get to work.
I try to help.
Are you trained in stoneworking?
No.
Then you don't know how to help.
Okay. And he cannot direct me.
Hold this.
Stand over there.
Don't touch.
That's how you tell a halfling to help. All right, so you can make a stoneworking check.
Yay.
DC is 14, and it takes about 15 minutes to do this.
So am I using my stone cunning then?
Yes.
Okay.
What's your stone cunning? What's that do?
Stone cunning gives you double proficiency in anything with stoneworking in
Okay.
the history skill.
Okay.
Because for some reason, tunneling and all that stuff falls under history. Which I thought was odd.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I got a 19.
Nice. So yeah, it takes about 15 minutes, and I mean, you probably are directing them, like, move that piece of rubble off that line there, and
Right.
and you get things kind of situated back where they need to be, and it looks right. Like it looks like you remember it, but the energy still has not flowed back into it, and
That's probably
that.
So I look at it, see what we can make of this recreated structure.
There's like some simple like rituals that come back to mind on how to activate the chamber. But it is going to require an Arcana check on your part. Anybody who's trained in Arcana can help you. You need a 12.
9. I shouldn't have used these dice.
So after 10 minutes of going through, you're like, that's the deactivation ritual. Wrong.
I'm in a
one.
hurry.
You guys are at
Probably
about
take my time.
You guys are at about 35 minutes of time altogether using it. It's about 10 minutes to get back up. You
We're
can
going to the moon.
you can try again.
Yeah, we're not gonna have enough to go up.
Yeah. we're not
Hopefully, the
going
moon
back up.
restores the water level.
I don't know what other rituals there are, but
So-
that wasn't it either.
What's your bonus with Arcana?
5.
What?
5!
How's it only a 5?
Because it's Arcana plus 5.
What's your
Did you
intelligence mod?
update it with your proficiency?
Your
Oh, so I
proficiency
do 3 plus 5?
plus your
I
intelligence.
still fail both times.
Okay. Is your
What do
intelligence?
I need?
You need a 12.
The first time I succeeded
Oh.
with a 12. Because I get 8,
Yeah.
What's your intelligence bonus?
3.
And then you get plus 3, so you get plus 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I failed both times.
Okay.
So never mind.
You still got a little bit of time.
Like, quite a long.
I feel inadequate.
I'm going to remind him what magic actually is.
I mean, you're trying to use a ritual at the bottom
How
of
about
the
a
ocean.
natural 20?
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, with a spark of absolute inspiration, you're like, oh no, Sehanine always used a different ritual for these.
This is druidic. I'm not arguing.
And he goes in with a flourish. And as he's gesturing underwater, and he's moving a little slow with that nice resistance underwater, motes of light start to form around him and trail after his motions as he's going through. And so it's just being followed by these curtains of light. And starting at the center where he is, the lights settle down eventually. I mean, more keep generating as he goes, and they start filling in the lines and glyphs in the stonework. And even small pieces of rubble that were left that wouldn't interfere start to like lift out and kind of drift out and settle outside of the circle until it's clear of all debris. Some of the chunks are as large as your head, and it's just all of these are being moved out. And then the light reaches the perimeter and forms like a wall of light all the way around you. And as the ritual hits its like crescendo at about 10 minutes, there's a blinding flash of light, somewhat similar to when you blinded everyone. And then you're standing on a dry stone circle, dry except for where you're standing, has your dripping seawater onto it. And it looks like it took about an inch of seawater on the floor as well, here with you as well. So it's like, and it just kind of splashes all over. And you kind of settle down, like you didn't land exactly on the stone, but maybe an inch or two above the surface of it. And then gravity pulls you down, but not hard, not as hard as normal gravity.
Right.
It's not super light, like maybe a 1/10 lighter, but enough that it's a little different. And you are standing on, like I said, a stone platform that looks in about as much disarray as the platform you initially encountered. You are not underwater anymore, though. You are breathing in very stagnant, foul, fetid air. It's cool, but it's very humid. And it's very different from the tropical climate you left behind. I mean, even the water that you went into was probably like that of a heated pool. And now you're in actual chilly air, probably in the high 50s. And you're soaking wet. The land around you, you're on a stone disc that greatly resembles the one you just left, and it's on top of a hillock that looks out over a swamp. And this is not what you remember. What you remember is grand forest and glades, rainforest, a semi-tropical setting here that was warmer than the planet you left, and a glittering silver and alabaster road that would eventually take you to the temple. What you have instead is rolling hills that look like it's mostly marshlands and swamps, with a slow, sluggish moving river that follows the exact course of the road you once knew.
This land is sick.
Were there other structures on the moon that we knew of?
There were.
Okay.
There was once a shrine built around this disc, but like it seems destroyed or torn down.
Okay, so
Lurk, do you feel her
needs
presence
repairs
here?
as well?
It's in disarray. Like there's chunks of rock on it too. So like there was once a shrine standing here, and if the walls have tumbled down off the hillock, then they're underwater.
But we should probably repair it though. That's what you're saying. If
It
we
looks
wanna
like it's
go back.
functioning. It's
Okay.
it just has that debris on it.
Okay.
So this is the moon.
This is the moon.
Yeah, as you like look up, you can see the planet.
Do you feel zany now that we're on the
Does
same
the planet have like
plane,
that black on it, like when we were up in the, like when
I'm
we were
waiting
sitting
to
in the
get
thrones?
insight from the GM.
No,
Okay.
no, but it is not in a full phase either, and you can't currently see that part of it.
Sure. All right.
What's that?
I had asked him if he could feel his daughter's presence.
I don't feel anything.
Which,
I agree with Bahamut. This is a sick land. I don't recall any of this landscape. There should be buildings over here, and there is not.
So we just have to pick a direction and hope we're not traveling to the wrong side of the moon.
Well, I think you fall off if you do, right? Is that
Fall
what
into
we
a
were
big
saying?
crater.
Huh?
You fall into a big crater eventually.
Can we see the edge at all from where we're at?
No. Like I said,
So the
there's
moon's
this
flat?
like
The river.
slug. Yep.
Well, I believe we should follow that river because
That was the road.
it was the road,
Okay.
and I would almost guess that the temple is at the edge of the destruction.
I set off.
Okay.
I'm behind him, except I'm staying on what is land or mushy instead of inside the river, because if I walk in the river, I'll probably get whoosh, swept away.
It's really sluggish and sludgy and slow moving.
Oh, the river is?
Yes,
I'm still going to try to walk next to it if it's possible.
that's fine. There's vines and creepers everywhere. Like wherever there would be dry ground, there's vegetation growing, like taking up every inch it can, and so it makes walking kind of treacherous. And sometimes they seem to move on their own accord.
As soon
Like
as one moves, I jump into the river behind everybody else.
Jump into the river.
I'm not in the river.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
not
you're
walking
not in the river?
No, they're walking next to the river.
Oh, okay. Well, that's where I am.
Okay.
I thought he was in the river,
Yeah, and it's so murky you can't see how deep it is or where the bottom is or if
Yeah,
the
I'm not
road's
going
even
to.
still there. But yeah, every once in a while, like a vine will like kind of whip out to grab your foot, and you can just carefully extract yourself. But there is like almost a feeling of maliciousness behind it, and you start to feel that like this place has some type of sentience to it overall, or just an anger lashing out.
A taint.
Does it feel like fire's wrath, or does it feel like it's just the lack of her presence that has?
Yeah, or the destruction that's happened here has
Okay.
corrupted the paradise that she made.
Okay.
There are trees here and there, but they're not the tall, majestic trees you're used to seeing. They're gnarled and bowed over, and a lot of willows and things like that have taken deep root here. But they just have that same sense to them as well, like the land is dying. And yeah, and you know that normally that you could have probably made the trek in about 6 hours on the road, but with conditions the way they are, it's going to take you probably closer to 12. And it was the middle of the night when you guys got here too. So even after just an hour or so of walking, a bit of fatigue starts to set in. And you do notice though that like walking here doesn't seem to tire you out as quickly, but all the trips and just watching your step and looking out for soft ground does slow your travel down a bit.
What is the time here like? Is it the same?
It's very similar, yes.
Okay.
It's off by a few minutes, but that's about it.
Well, we should probably find a high spot to make a camp.
Yeah.
It on here when you guys get here, like it's just now after an hour or so walking, it's just getting dark here now though. So you're where you're at on the planet is different than where you're at on your own planet.
Well, I don't mind taking first watch.
Okay.
Probably, I'm probably still a little.
Flopped.
You guys, what do you guys try to find a spot? I mean, like I said, everything's vegetation covered. Are you gonna try to clear some of the vines and creepers from an area?
I don't want to snuggle with those in the middle of the night.
I'm afraid it's going to take me by an ankle and off goes Tapa. I should just climb into Omboth's bag.
No. Okay, you can. That's all right.
Wood bag?
So you guys find a hilltop, has a single like large willow tree growing on it. But the creepers and vines do grow right up to the tree, and a few of them are kind of going up the tree a little ways, and it is, you know, there's a pool of, you know, fetid water off on one side, and then the other way goes back to the river where you came from. But it is a place where you'd have some feeling of being able to look around, have a good eye view of the land. And even the pool of water is a good 30 feet away. So if anything came splashing out of it, you'd probably hear it and have time to react. What do you want to do with that?
Sleep quickly, so we can leave as early as possible.
Do we want to clearing area here?
Oh, there wasn't a clear area?
Well, there's all this
The vines are
vegetation.
everywhere.
And I just imagine the vines trying to strangle somebody while they're sleeping. Or
So
something.
I think I'm gonna try to use my fire breath and burn away some of the vines
Okay.
where we're gonna camp, and see if they react to that, like with a ascension, like they pull away from it, or what exactly they do.
Okay.
Um,
So yeah, you open up your mouth and inhale deeply, and then this cone of fire comes ripping out across the land, and the vines crackle and burn, and you get the feeling that the ones on the edge do kind of pull away, like they have, but they don't move fast, and they don't, you know, but yeah, like it does clear out this nice kind of triangle of.
Oh, no problem. Fireball, fireball.
Dropping your fireball spell.
Mhm.
Okay.
Will help clear it faster so you can go to sleep.
well,
Are you hitting the tree in that as well, or just
No.
the? Okay. Yeah, he drops 2 fireballs and clears.
Ginormous explosions.
Yeah, like a 40-foot globe of fire.
Right.
Is what it runs to.
So there's dry dirt there now.
Yeah, it's
It's
all
even a little warm.
it's all charred.
Oh, I was just saying, I'm like, whatever. Tired.
All right. Well, this nice new bear's rock that's exposed looks like
Yeah.
a good seat for watch.
All right, so yeah, you guys settle in. Are you staying up, keeping watch, or doing your meditation and staying?
Meditate for 4 hours, then I'm up watching, waiting for everybody to wake up.
Okay.
take
I'll
a
watch
watch
the
as
first
well.
two. The first 2 hours, I guess.
Okay.
I'll watch for the next 2.
Okay.
And then I'll watch for the 2 after.
Okay. So you'll be up with him. Okay.
Because that gives me 6 hours of sleep.
Longest is technically 8. So usually adventure groups rest for 10 hours total.
Except for Baylor, he gets a full 10.
I feel weird on this place. Like, the rays don't get to me the same way.
You do hear a lot of like wildlife at night, like birds calling out, the chatter of insects and the wings, like really large dragonflies and mosquitoes and whatnot as well. They don't plague you too much, but they do come around. By the time your 4-hour reverie ends and you come out of your meditation, like the vines and creepers have grown about a foot into your circles in about 4 hours. But you guys continue on resting. There's a few moments where everything just stops and gets eerily quiet. And then all the sound picks back up again, as if some kind of predator was in the area. Some motion. So, but the wildlife doesn't seem to react to you. Like it doesn't really know what you are.
You're asleep the whole time.
Yeah, and you guys get up in the morning feeling rested as the sun is coming up. It does seem a little distant.
Yeah, I still feel a little drowsed. You can tell. My hair's wonky.
It's the humidity and salt water. It's making you blonde.
Yeah, you guys do have like little patches of rust starting on your armor.
Well, I know what I'm doing the entire time we're walking.
I mean, I have leather armor or light armor, so I don't have metal. Not very
No,
much.
but it is like stiff, weirdly stiff in places, and where it's normally kind of supple, and it's gonna need to be cleaned out. And you're like shaking salt out of your leather as it dries.
Yeah, as we're walking, I just alternate pieces of armor for people and work on stuff.
Okay.
I'll clean that for you.
Thanks.
Cast prestidigitation.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
It does do that.
I'm like,
It does cleans items. It won't repair damage, but it'll
No,
clean.
no, no. I can also soil it. See?
Elves are used
Clean
to
it
soiling things.
Thanks.
Um,
I go back to finally freely moving in my light armor and no longer feeling restricted.
you do see some of the birds during the day, and they're different. There are a lot of brown and gray on them, on the plumage. So they blend in with this new landscape. Where once you had birds of paradise here, now they're very different looking.
Just in color, or like they've adapted their colors, but they're still the same creatures.
They look a little like squatter. You'd almost say a little less healthy too. They've had to change diet, and it's not doing well for them. And a lot of lizards and snakes moving around the next day too.
I like lizards and snakes.
I like lizards, but snakes can eat me and chomp.
they like to bask in your glory. Yeah.
We can just see him walking my subjects.
Right. And they're like, oh.
All right. So what are you guys doing?
Continuing on the path.
Well, following the river.
Right.
Scrubby, sand.
I'll be cleaning my armor off as well.
You guys digging through your trail rations that you brought with you, enjoying the fine meal of dried fruits and fish.
Mm-hmm.
I like fish jerky.
I'm gonna have everybody in the group make a
Everybody.
perception 12. You have disadvantage
Fair
because
enough.
you're busy messing with the armor.
20.
Oh, natural.
20, not natural.
Wow. He goes later.
What you guys?
5.
Wasting.
Okay.
7.
Okay. It's all down to one person.
21.
There we go.
All the people that passed were 20 or higher.
Yes. You're just like enjoying looking at the new stuff, and
I'm not enjoying it. I'm
But
really
you-
taking everything in and just like I feel really bad for this land, and I think like for me, I really kind of make that connection with Coralon, just like or Lorik, whatever. What do you prefer?
That's his name.
Coralon, okay.
Yeah.
Just really like I'm gonna make comments in Elven to him actually about the sick land and like just different things that
I
I
didn't
do
realize
see.
you spoke Elvish.
Those birds are very sick.
2 cursed
This land is
languages.
sick. We need to get to our destination quickly.
so as you guys are walking,
These
those of you who made the perception check, you realize like you catch movement off in the distance here and there, and after a while, because of all like the vines do shift and whatnot, like it's easy to get like distracted by that, but you do see things kind of like flanking you on the other side of some hills, like something's stalking you, something's following your progress. And yeah, the three of you notice that. You're busy looking at birds and you're busy looking at armor, so you don't notice.
I nudge Boss in the knee because, he's really tall. I'm not. And I ask him if he saw that.
Saw what?
I think there's motion, but I can't see far enough.
I'm not going to look directly at it, but
Okay.
just kind of keep my peripheral vision. Just kind of.
I'm guessing I'm
Look for
struggling
the
because things are about as tall as I am here.
I'm sorry, I have to have production do something really quick.
As soon as I see like that motion that Dava is talking about, I'm gonna tell Coralon and Elvin the same thing. There's something following us. I think
Elvin.
it might be good to send your bird friend.
I have
to
no
check it
bird
out.
friend. He couldn't come through the water.
Bring him
No
back.
Merlin?
It would take 10 minutes. I suppose I
That's
should have last night.
time we don't have.
No, I saw that too. But let's keep walking and keep an eye on it.
So, because there's a lot of vegetation, like, can I still have like a normal range of sight, or
Mhm.
part of my sight?
The vegetation
blocked?
doesn't grow up very high; it just
Okay.
covers the ground. There's a lot of creepers. Think of like morning glory style vines, but like an inch or two in diameter.
Okay.
It can get everywhere.
I'm probably just super focused.
And also this, like at night, the temperature didn't drop dramatically. Like it dropped 8 or 9 degrees. So it dropped to like the low 50s. And now that you guys are walking and moving, it feels like it's probably like 60, 61 degrees. That's Fahrenheit for our European viewers. Things we take for granted. And, so you're not overly warm, but you're not freezing either. But after being all the time in a tropical environment, it does. Like you're feeling pretty chilly.
I'm just trying to keep an eye on wherever I see motion.
Bosch.
Everyone.
Just kind of set them off to the side for now there. I'll handed them all to him, that's fine. There we go.
You gotta split it up.
It's the official, miniature
Yeah,
theme song.
it occurred to me that like we might need those tonight. Just now. Not, an hour ago when I was setting up.
What? You have something planned?
What?
Why would you?
No way!
Okay. I'm also going to tell Drimoyne in Draconic that there's something out there watching.
Can't just use common like the rest of us.
What?
Yeah, there's something following us. And then I'll say to them as well in common.
Corlin.
But I'm gonna say like very quietly, like I'm gonna walk up next to him.
Well, whatever is like over that area, like it's a good 50, 100 yards away. It's not up close. It's keeping the kind of ridge line.
But it's watching us.
You get it's paralleling you for sure.
Well, if it's my piece or whoever's piece of stuff I'm working on, I'm like, oh, it's time to put it back on. Can go take a break for a little bit. And polish my hammer.
All right. You guys continuing on then?
But
Yeah.
I'm thinking while I'm doing that
Okay.
on what I could use to.
Do we
I'm
remember?
keeping a
solve this
pretty
issue.
decent eye on like the sidelines now that I know that something's following us,
Okay.
possibly on this side, but just in case there's something on the other.
Okay.
That
Do
was paranoid.
we remember enough of where the road would lead, of where a good ambush spot would be?
The land seems really
Like
different.
it's completely
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah, like there's definitely earthquakes and upheavals here too.
So like we're following the river, but we're just assuming it's following where the road would have been.
Right. It seems to be like that. That does seem to be, but like there was never a river here before.
Right.
Or some of these hills.
Which I'm sure that the road was probably in the lowest.
And I mean, it is
area.
slow moving too. Like it's just like slow sludge moving the river.
Gross.
Very muddy and mucky. Not a lot growing in it either. You good? So as you guys continue on, you get to a point where, like the ridgeline is moving closer to you, to the river, and the trees are getting a little thicker. So you're like, yeah, there would be a a point where this is whatever's following us is either going to veer away
Right.
or probably come in.
That's where I do it.
And so
It will be there. Or not at all.
so
Unless there's better spots.
you guys are walking alongside the river, which is over here, and you have a marching order.
Dava is in the middle because I like to be in big people sandwiches.
I have a feeling it's going to be something like this because you were working on armor and kind of lagging behind the group a little bit.
That works.
That makes sense.
And this is the river.
Yep.
So if you haven't already, production, if you can switch us to our combat view. Awesome. And you hear a couple of voices coming from that area. And it's like, Knob, Bob, go, get 'em. Fresh meat for the pots. Okay, Dob, you don't have to be so bossy. And then you hear another voice go, let Kitty go too.
Yeah, I've always been a dog person.
I know.
And the voices are coming from off in the trees over here. And you don't see them yet, but we are going to roll initiative. And we will go from there.
Woo!
What did you get, Paylor?
18.
18 for Paylor. Woo.
Rolling high.
Wow.
Dava, 20 what?
19.
Wait, what?
19.
No, 20 what?
Oh, just 19.
I'm so used to your super high. That's still a good roll.
I mean, it's respectable.
Dava.
16. I wish that was my attack roll. It's wasted.
That's what I'm saying.
Bah, that's what I put for his name. Corlon?
19.
Who wins? Dava, huh?
I think she has 4.
Mm-hmm.
Darn times. I'm leaving a gap.
This is why I roll good to attack all the time.
You roll terrible for initiative.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
Last.
What'd you get?
7.
7. I still have bad guys to roll for, so.
Mm-hmm. They always go on like 8.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. We got some fun stuff planned for this.
Great.
I like fun.
Yeah, I didn't even get my dice out today. We're not gonna need dice.
I thought you was new diceless game, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they hit. You dead.
Oof. He sucks.
Tied my die bag too good. There we go.
Well, that means it's done, right?
Yeah, let's keep walking.
All right, let's see.
I'm
Let's
sure
see
you
what.
hear
Let's see what Kitty's initiative is.
I don't see anything.
Kitty got a 14.
They don't sound like they notice us either.
Go get them.
Ooh. I know
Oh, I
how
thought
it
they said
might
go
do.
get water.
Fresh
might-
meat
No,
for the
go
pots.
get them. Fresh meat for the pot. Gosh,
That's what
I
they
think
said.
you need to re-roll your perception.
I'm more focused on getting to where we're going.
Go get some fish for the meat pots.
That's a good call.
You should roll like Ash did yesterday. Just roll percentile. You'll hit all the time.
Yeah, I just, there you go.
All right.
81. What?
So let's see. We got Knob at an 8.
Hobnob.
We got Bob.
Every time.
Bob and Hobnob are in a pot.
At a 2.
Oh.
Somebody's fast.
I'm
And-
excited.
You're not last, see?
His
And-
name is Big
and then we
Bob.
have
He is
Dob.
not fast.
And Dobbs at a 10.
Second to last. I'll take it.
Dob, Knob, and Bob.
It's like the
And
Jeffersons. Moving on up. When did Kitty go?
She was a 14, right?
No.
Oh, wait, Dob might have a different
Twice
I'm
as
sorry.
fast as
He's not
me.
this- He's out of a different book. I think he's better
I don't like when they're out of a different book.
I do.
He's gonna have like +6 more to his initiative.
And then it's like,
Oh, I don't
22.
want to. Right. What?
There he is. Yeah, his initiative is actually 2 better. I'm sorry. He goes at a 12, which doesn't make any difference in our order today. All right. Strangely, Dava, you're first.
Shocking. Can I make it up this tree?
So it doesn't require a climbing check. You just climb your speed.
I have my
So up this tree?
spider
Yeah,
climb?
no, that's what I said.
this one.
No.
No.
Because you're going to go... What's your speed?
25.
So 5, 10, 25 to get to the tree.
Yeah.
Puts me really far away from the group.
I mean, for a second.
It's true. Because I want to be up in the tree. I don't want to play Sniper Dava.
You could do your dash action to climb up the tree as a
Yeah,
bonus
let's do
action. So you run to the tree and then she dashes and she scurries up the tree.
And I vanish.
You're gonna do that as well. That would be your action used as well. You have nothing to shoot. So yeah, you could just go up
Yeah, I
there
don't
and
have
hide.
anything
Okay.
to shoot.
Go ahead and make a stealth roll. That's pretty good.
Where the heck is stealth?
It's under
right
dexterity
here.
skills.
So 20.
Okay.
I'm pretty stealthy.
You are pretty stealthy. How is it only at 20? You rolled a 15 or did you roll lower?
It
15.
should be higher than that.
Should be a 22.
Oh, why?
Because it's
Should I?
4 plus your
Because you raised your
proficiency.
dexterity and your proficiency bonus went up.
Okay.
22.
So you get a plus
Ooh.
7.
Does she have expertise and stuff?
Yeah.
She might, yeah.
Because then it would be another 3 higher.
So stealth is a plus 7.
All right.
I don't
Corlon,
remember
what would you
initiatives.
like to do?
I know Thief Tools was one of them that you took.
We don't see them.
You don't see him at this point.
Do you have any weird marks by any of your other
Are we-
skills?
Are we following the halfling?
Up the tree?
Not a,
That would
She
be
ran up the
difficult.
tree and disappeared. You guys don't
Not a
see her either.
I mean, it sounds like they were coming from over here.
Maybe you could fly up the
Oh.
tree.
Yep, Stealth and Thieves Tools.
very funny.
So your bonus to your
I would just
stealth
walk to the base of the tree, behind the tree,
is actually plus
and
10.
go still.
Oh, it's plus 10.
And that's
Okay, so 25
Right here?
was my stealth roll.
I don't know. How fast are you?
30.
5,
Can I have to erase that 7?
10, 20. Yeah,
if you ever
you
have
can make it
to
there.
disable traps or pick locks or any of that stuff, it's the same bonus.
I get to stealth roll too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do I?
If you want to.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. And Paylor.
I will go 5, 15, what,
20.
20,
And then it would be 30 for the
maybe
next.
30 to be here.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I'll hold an action, and if I see anything, I'm gonna
Pop it.
shoot it with some light.
Okay. Bahamut.
I'll move up next to Paylor,
Same, like up to there.
Yep.
Where you?
and then I'll hold my action.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna hang out back here
Yeah, you are.
until my turn.
Okay. So this large black cat comes sprinting out of the tree cover. Except it has 6 legs, not 4.
Mm.
That's
and
wrong.
2 tentacles springing from its shoulders, its front shoulders,
That's gross.
that have like spiked pads on the end of them.
I'm glad I'm in a tree.
It's a cat.
It's Kitty. So Kitty comes rushing out at you. You can make your attack once it gets up to you.
Well, it's a ranged attack,
Yeah.
so as it's coming at me,
Yep. And you do have disadvantage on this attack.
then I'm going to use an inspiration.
Okay.
$14.
That hits.
I'm going to borrow a d6.
Okay. Oh, you brought the pretty one. You like it. That'll be good news.
So 15 damage, and anyone that attacks it until the start of my next turn gets advantage.
Okay.
Is it the next person or anybody?
Anybody.
Okay. Well, yeah, you scorch it with the light, and it like does that nice puma screech of anger. It hurt it, but not like it kind of glanced off like the shoulder, just under where the tentacle connects as it comes up, and it is going to attack you now.
I'm gonna blind it. So, and I read this. It's only the first attack that gets the advantage.
Okay, because it has multiple attacks.
Yeah.
So disadvantage on the first attack. There'll be a 15 on the low die total.
I easily get out of the way or block it.
Okay, and then it swings a second time. 15 again.
Okay. Still fine.
So yeah, the tentacles come at you. You blinded it. Screeches again, and it's flashing with these tentacles at you. They look like they're gonna hurt pretty good if they hit.
Okay.
So
let's not do that.
Yeah. And then it's Dob's turn. Dob. There we go. Comes walking out. And Dob is an 8.5 foot tall hulking brute. It's you haven't really quite seen things like this before, but it's just this muscled but just very simple looking, like almost tribal creature with large fangs, kind of a long flat forehead but bulging muscles. And he comes up to just about here, and then and he's covered in like crude hides and is carrying a bow, a massive bow. And he pulls back on it and he shoots at Amboth with this massive bow. 16.
Miss. Got my shield.
Oh, nice. So this bolt like hits your shield and you deflects off, but the force of it drives you back about 1.5 feet. And you know if that connects, that's gonna put a world of hurt on you. And then it's Knob's turn. You hear, "Get him, kitty, get him!" And out from the same area where this cat was at comes another one of these brutes, but he is more equipped to this. And they seem like they're well adjusted to the gravity here, too. These hulking brutes. Oh, I gotta put him up one more. He's through movement still. I thought he had reach, but he doesn't. So he's gonna come up one more little push to you there. And then he will take a swing at you.
Okay.
Swings once again. The blow connects, but you have your shield up, and your armor is absorbing some of it on the arm as well. But like it leaves your arm ringing and numb from deflecting this. There is incredible strength behind these hits. And then, Morton, it's your turn.
Excellent. Every other, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yay. I will move to there and I will magic missile kitty.
Okay.
Four, 8, so 11. 11.
So these little spinning hammers go out from you.
Little axes.
Little axes and like strike into like the chest of this thing, and it roars and screeches, and like you definitely think it like looks at you. Is that it?
Hello, kitty. Yeah.
You hear, "Oi, off my cat!" And this another one of these hulking brutes, I just dropped him. No, where'd he go?
He fell off the
Not
moon.
He fell off the planet.
There he is.
Not enough gravity. He went towards you. Oh.
Comes stalking out as well, and he gets to about here and he hurls a javelin at you.
Hey.
Attacked his cat.
I mean, there's two, like... Well, there's one, like, giant burn mark, too.
22.
He's like, do I cast shield?
Yeah.
He's thinking about it because,
I'll let him have it.
okay.
You finally want to get hurt, do you?
I haven't used my second wind in a
Oh,
while.
sweet. Do I get that ability?
We'll see. So this javelin comes sailing in and rolls terrible and hits you for 7 damage.
That's bad. That's the bad damage.
That is almost the least I can do.
Wow. All right.
It's glancing hit, like you throw your shield up and it deflects it up and it just kind of catches you and hits the armor and you feel like you're like, that's bruising. Like that's definitely like that glancing hit though almost spins you around a full 180.
Right.
And it's back to Dava's turn.
So I'm gonna guess the tree's pretty tall, right?
It's about 20 feet tall.
Okay.
The trees here aren't very tall, like I said.
Right. So I am as in disguise in the tree as humanly as halflingly possible.
Yes, you are hidden right now. None of them have seemed to notice you. So you have advantage on your attack roll. You'll do your sneak attack damage on anybody you attack.
Gotcha.
But then you will make yourself known at that point.
Can I disengage and stealth
You can
again?
you can stealth again afterwards, yes. But you have given your position away and they'll at least know you're in the tree most likely.
Right. I'm gonna shoot the cat.
Okay. And you have advantage on the roll.
Double advantage. It just doesn't do anything.
I mean, yeah. So 13 plus 8.
That will definitely hit.
Okay. And then I am using. Oh, sorry, it was plus 7, so it was only a 20. And then I have 2d6 for that, right?
Your bow is a d6,
Mm-hmm.
and then I think you get like
3d6?
3d6 for sneak attack.
So 4 dice.
Total.
4 dice plus 4, because it's not a magic bow,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
That's a good roll.
So let's see here. So there's 10, 9, so 19,
23.
23.
All right, yeah, you shoot down at this thing, and the arrow like sinks into its back and like its lower flank, and it kind of like stumbles and like hisses and looks up into the tree.
I'm gonna disengage and stealth.
Okay,
Well, you're not engaged.
you're not engaged.
Oh,
Yeah, you
okay.
can just make a stealth check. And
Yeah.
30, because I nat 20'd.
nice.
I am the tree.
Wow.
I am
Nice.
the tree. Cat might look at the tree, but all it sees is tree.
But yeah, like the big brutes kind of like glance up there too, but they're like looking to see. They don't see anything in the tree. Let's pull out a big axe.
Well, I mean, that would take the turn, like their attention
Yeah.
off from you for a little
Corlin.
bit. It'd take them a while to get through the tree.
I take a little bit of sand out of a pouch and I whisper and I cast Crown of Madness on this guy in the back.
The guy in the back.
Mhm.
Okay. He comes under your control.
Every time. It's like
It's
your
a
best
great spell. I love it.
What we gotta do?
Paylor. What level spell is that? Is it a 1?
I don't know. That is second, yeah.
Okay.
Second level. I
Um,
got 3 of those, so it's okay.
That's okay. I brought plenty of encounters today.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to sleep after this.
Nope.
I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
So I raise my hammer and it glows, and then it like
Your
leaves in an after image,
Okay.
which is gonna go on its own and fight the cat.
Okay. Has advantage, right? Because you haven't had. Is it until the start?
It's the start of
Okay, so you don't get it yourself.
No, I
Okay.
do not. 19.
That'll hit. Oh wait, it's your. Yes, it hits.
It actually would have been 21.
Okay.
But yeah.
It hits.
Do we don't have disadvantage to attack yet, or
Not yet.
not yet? I haven't fought him in this
4,
edition.
9.
9.
Yeah.
It strikes a glancing blow on the side of its head, and it kind of shakes it, and it's growling and angry, but it's not dropped yet.
Okay. Well, where it's shaking its head is where the real mace is going.
Okay.
And I miscalculated, and it like.
Gravity
Right by
here
it.
is different.
Yeah.
All right, Bahamut.
Okay.
You have your shield and javelin out.
Yep. I'm gonna step up right next to Palor,
Okay.
right next to that big cat creature, and I'm gonna cast Hold Person on that.
Don't know if it affects these
It won't
guys.
affect
It won't.
Because they're not persons.
You have to hold monster.
Yep, they're too big.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really, I thought you had to be like twice the size of a human to not be affected
These are.
by
They're
them.
large monsters.
They're only 8 feet, you said.
Yeah, tall.
I'm almost 7 feet.
They're also like 8 feet wide.
Well,
Right.
that'd be fair then.
It might work. I mean, it says humanoid. Let me see if they.
They are humanoid?
Let me see if they are humanoids.
Gonna guess giant.
8
They are not humanoids.
Okay.
Oh well. Okay.
They are
Alright.
classified as giants.
Then
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and just drop my shield.
Okay.
And I'm gonna smash this.
Drop your
thing.
javelin. Drop your shield.
Yep.
And pull out your hammer and attack.
Well, I'm gonna swing at him. So I've got 2 attacks.
One at a time.
One at a time.
Yep,
How come?
because I said so.
Oh, okay. Cool.
What if you
fine.
kill it?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I'm not really in range of anything else, so 12?
That's not true.
Which one are you attacking?
Cat, right?
The cat.
Was it
Yeah,
the kitty?
the cat.
It dodges out of the way.
Okay. And then the other one. It's going to be 16.
That will hit.
Okay. And I'm going to expend, or I'm going to do a smite.
You guys
Okay.
got to use all your spells and powers before you get to the temple. I like this plan.
I mean, the cat's
You know
gonna
what?
be on
No, the
its
cat's
hind
already
legs.
wounded, so I'm not gonna smite it. I'm gonna reroll 1s and 2s. That's gonna be 12 damage.
All right. So you swing around and it dodges your first swing, and you, on the backswing you come back and catch it faster than it expected, right in like the side, and it kind of like crumples around the hammer for a minute, rolls on the ground, gets back up, and it's snarling and hissing at you now. I mean, as it does that, like the air around it shimmers,
Okay.
and it looks like it's like a couple feet away from where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And as a bonus action, I am gonna give myself Shield of Faith.
Okay.
That's a bad kitty.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's the kitty's turn. You're the last one to hit it, so it's attacking you.
Okay.
Mean kitty.
There it is. All right, so tentacle number 1 comes slashing out at you and just hits your armor but doesn't get through. Like it just barely connects with you, and it was like such a glancing blow, your armor stops it easily. As the second tentacle comes around, 17
Miss because I have
because of your shield of
Faith.
faith. Yep. You have an 18 AC right now?
Yep.
I'm rolling really low today too, so.
Well, you haven't hit me yet, so that's definitely a major.
That's not something you should say.
All right, you have control of the guy in the back.
He shoots the guy with a javelin.
Okay. Roll.
Does he have like 15 attacks? 18.
That'll hit. I'll roll the damage.
Sure you will.
Okay, you can roll it.
It's okay. I was kidding. Actually, you're rolling bad. Let me roll.
Okay.
He wants to break in his new dice.
3d10 plus 1.
Woo!
I didn't want to know that. Actually.
Holy moly.
Only +1?
Yep.
I guess
This
it's
is kinda
dex,
weird.
yeah,
Do you
Not
need
very
a
Dexy.
Do you need a D10?
10, D10, D10.
This guy's using a bow back there.
Are they ogres?
No, this
Yeah.
is the guy you.
That's the guy. He's shooting the guy with the javelin. He cast it on the guy with
I
the
cast that on that
on the
guy.
back on the back.
I thought you cast on this.
No,
No.
I just
Oh.
take it in the because you guys tend to hit the guys, so I got far away. 'Cause
Sorry
when you
about
hit,
that.
I know it's okay, but when you hit them, the spell breaks. So
Okay,
Plus one
okay.
dex for an ogre is pretty good.
That's fair.
Yeah, because they're usually a mite.
how about 22-3?
Nice.
Oh, I didn't see the 2. I just saw the two 10s. I was like, oh.
And then he gets to save to stop it, right?
Yes, at the end of his turn.
23. So he throws it and hits the one, and the guy howls like he's just like, "Ah, what are you doing, Dob?" And Dob's like, "I'm sorry, Bob. I thought you were one of them."
No, he wouldn't say that. He said, "You're going down."
No, it's madness. He's insane, so he's seeing
Yes,
things.
it's true.
Does not shake off the effect. So you get your choice. I mean, you got to keep an action going to keep him under your control.
Now my
So
turn. I gotta decide. How many
um,
squares are awake?
I don't know.
So how much? So that guy with the javelin, how far is he from the other two dudes? I can't see the squares.
The guy with the javelin.
Yeah.
He's like 2 squares away.
squares away.
Yeah.
What is that? 10 feet.
10 feet.
Yeah. All right, and then the guy who is up
Fireball
here,
right
he gets
there.
to swing.
Mm-hmm.
But
And he
it
swings at
would
the
hit
wizard.
you guys.
He's like, he sees
Yeah,
the elf
that's
sitting back there. He's like, "Oi, what are you skulking behind a tree for?" And he swings at you.
Who? Oh.
Fanny, is that what you called him?
I just like how you're like, who, me?
Yeah, I was hiding behind the tree. Stealthed up.
21
What's his shield give me?
plus 5.
Really?
What's your AC normally?
Right now it's 17.
God, I have the lowest AC.
Well, I have a spell on.
You said 21 or 22?
21. So shield would stop the hit.
I'm gonna stop the hit. I'll shield.
You're rolling a
That
3d10 plus
burns
1. Stop that.
Okay.
That was with a javelin.
All the spells.
No, this is the dude with the.
No.
This is-
Okay.
All right, Morden, you're up.
Oh, hey, leave my elf buddy alone. He's squishy. He don't want to do this. So hammer starts, like, ignites in a green fire, and I stomp on his toe and
Okay.
uppercut him in the,
Hit him in the ankle.
what's probably head level. 17.
That will hit.
So he will take 11. Is he resistant or vulnerable to fire?
Nope.
Okay. So he takes 11, and Kitty takes 3 fire damage.
Okay.
I'm going to action surge.
Okay.
I'm going to do it again.
Okay.
14.
That will hit.
He takes 20 damage.
What?
8 and 8 on d8s.
Oh, because the spell was extra.
Yeah. And
That's
Kitty
awesome.
Kitty takes 8 fire damage.
Yeah, you're scorching the cat, like it's bleeding, and it's like missing parts of fur off its face where the fire's hitting it. And this is gonna change what he does a little bit. He's like, "Oi, quit hurting my cat!" And he comes around like this.
This is what lava feels like all the time. I don't like this big person sandwich.
I mean, for me, it's safety. For
22.
You, it's fear.
Ooh.
Okay, this time I'm spinning the spell.
Really? Yes. How many you got left after this?
1 more.
You guys are so dead today. It's awesome.
Oh, I forgot the bonus action and heal.
So he comes down and like Mystic Shield goes up, and he's like, "These got tough shells." Dava, it's your turn.
I have a moral dilemma at the current moment. I'm afraid of the cat the most, but at the same time, that guy's behind my friend. I still get advantage on my rolls, right? Because I'm still hidden.
Yep.
Neat. I'm gonna try to finish off the cat.
Okay, you don't have advantage now.
No?
Nope, because you have disadvantage when attacking the cat because it's not where you think it is.
Yeah.
So it cancels out your advantage.
Rude. Which die do I want to use?
He's a good one.
Well, I miss.
What'd you roll?
A 2.
Nice. So you got a dead beat on the cat and you fire and it goes right through its head. And then you realize it wasn't there.
Great. And then I am going to stealth again since
Okay.
I can't. 25. I am still part of the tree.
Corlin, are you going to maintain that spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll have him.
Well, he goes on his turn,
Right.
so.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You're
No,
just
I will
maintaining it
maintain
on
the
your
spell.
turn.
Yep.
Paylor. Unless you want to move or do anything, although you can provoke if you try to move away from these guys.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck.
Yeah, no, I'm okay.
You could drop the spell on withdrawal, but.
My light mace is going for the cat again. Oh, I have
Disadvantage.
That's a 15.
That'll hit.
Where's my D8? Oh, there it is. For 5.
Okay, this is your spiritual weapon.
Yeah.
So it goes and it just swings up and crushes this thing's skull, and the body falls to the ground finally, tattered and worn and burnt and beaten here. And then the one back there just roars in outrage at you when it falls. My cat! And looks like you got his attention.
Sorry.
That was your bonus action, right?
Correct. Then I will, with my real mace, attack the fellow in front of me, I guess.
Okay. So we'll take this one off and
Papa kitty.
Aiming for like his knee.
Okay.
Cripple him. Well, I get a 25
That will barely hit.
for 9 damage.
all right. So you hit his knee and it doesn't seem like it cripples his knee, but he kind of like starts to drop to one knee a bit. Like it definitely hurt him, and he's struggling to stay up.
Mm-hmm.
Your turn, Bahamut.
All right. Since he dropped to one knee, he's kind of struggling to stay up. I'm gonna take just the biggest two-handed swing. Take my few steps up
Okay.
and
You
just
don't
kind
need
of.
to.
Yeah, you're right there. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just get up and just try to hit him in the head.
Okay.
So
I mean, you're tall enough.
Yeah.
yeah. Do you want me to roll one at a time?
One at a time, please.
Okay. So the first one is a 14.
That'll hit.
Okay. So we roll both of those. That's 10 damage.
So you hit him upside the head, and it looks like it dislocates his jaw a little bit, but he's bringing his club back up to swing back at you. You get your another attack.
Yeah, I'm going for his chest
How much
on the
shouldn't
back
that
swing.
be more than 10?
What's that?
Shouldn't that be more than...
Plus 4 damage.
What is...
So that's 6 plus 4.
That's
10.
a 1.
Oh,
That's
that's,
not
a
a
1.
six.
I
Yeah,
thought
that's
it
a
was
Oh,
a 6.
I'm sorry.
Sorry,
I'm sorry.
Yeah. These are from the game Talisman.
Got it.
And my next attack is a 20
Nice.
Nat or just total?
total.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll hit.
Yeah. So there's going to be a 10 again.
Okay. So that you hit his chest and you hear ribs crack and he's looks down and he's brings his club up still and he starts coughing blood and then he just slumps down onto the ground dead.
Nice.
All right. So it is Dobbs' turn back there. He's going to shoot his bow at
Get him up to us.
He's got to shoot his bow. He can move to engage, but because he's shooting a bow, he has to attack. So
Yeah.
that's part of the spell.
Okay.
I can't control him.
But he just
has
attacks.
to attack.
Well, he's in plenty of range, so.
Yeah, to shoot his buddy.
Yep.
Okay. 12.
Hits. You guys have low AC.
Yeah, I was gonna say that is.
They're big and easy to hit.
21 with his one.
Again. Second arrow.
2 8 and 4.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Dob, what are you doing? Arrows like sticking out of him. These are like ballista bolts almost.
Right. Yeah.
And it is your turn.
Well, since I think he's really mad at Baylor for the kitty thing, I'm gonna step right here
Okay.
and flip the hammer around and start crackling with thunder and give him a little thunder.
Okay.
26.
That'll hit.
And so 16 damage.
So you bring it up and you crack him in the chest and the lightning rips through him and he just falls stone dead.
I guess that's the best way to make him not move anymore.
They took 44 from his buddy.
And then all of a sudden we all turn and look at the last guy left at the same time.
And I'm gonna second.
Okay.
Okay, I'm healed.
Dava.
Can I shoot that guy from here, or is he too?
What's the
far?
range of your bow?
I don't know. What's the range of a short bow?
I don't know.
Maybe 60 or something.
Oh, I still have some move left too, didn't I?
Yep.
20, 25.
Yeah, I think it's in range. We'll call it good.
Okay.
Go ahead and make your shot. Yep.
Advantage still.
Yep.
We're gonna go with that 13.
You hit.
Yeah, plus 7 is a 20. And then I still have no, I don't have sneak attack because he's not close enough, right?
Right. I think it has to be a certain. So you just do your D6 plus.
Yeah, I think it's like 30 feet or something.
So
like
that's
that.
still 10 damage.
All right. So you shoot Dom for 10. He gets shot and he's like, oh. Looking around. You gonna hide again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's rock the mic.
Nat 20.
Nice.
So that's a 30 on my stealth. I am still part of that tree.
Roll those
All right. What are you gonna do?
You have found the perfect little niche inside this tree.
It's
I
beautiful.
dropped. I mean, he didn't roll to resist, but I
Oh, yeah, I
I
should've
would
done-
drop the spell anyway, so it won't matter.
Ah, he would have failed anyway.
Yeah, I dropped the spell because otherwise I have to make him attack one of us. That he's got to attack. He doesn't
Yeah.
have a choice. So, and
Well, you could make him pick.
yeah, all right. No, I can actually tell who to. I can shoot Dava. No, I'm just kidding.
You can't see me.
Shoot that tree right there.
Just shoot the tree.
And you just shake Dava out of the tree.
I'm the spotter.
Can you fireball him? Is he far enough?
I will firebolt him. I don't want to waste any more spells.
Okay.
For 12. Or hit with 12.
Oh, okay.
If I hit, I don't
So
know.
you scorch his armor, but looks like he's a little more nimble than others. He like backs away from it and looks at you.
Yeah, he's gonna not like me. When Crown of Madness breaks, they know I had it on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can do anything else?
I go behind the tree.
Paylor.
5, 15, 20, 30.
Yep.
My hammer isn't quite as fast. It's back here.
Okay.
Or my mace, I'm sorry.
Or was it right there?
Yeah.
Oh, we should get a hammer.
Yeah.
I have one in my truck.
With a tentacle wrapped
Yeah,
around
with a
it.
tentacle
Mhm.
wrapped around it.
And then I will cast Sacred Flame. So he has to make
A dex save. Nat 20.
Okay, so he takes double damage.
Sacred Flame doesn't work in this game, remember?
It worked the first session. Not never again since.
Bahamut.
Are they going to move up as far as I can? And and yell out as loud as I can, "Surrender or you will be killed."
Did you want to take more than just your move?
That's one move, gets you up to there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna get all the way up. All dash.
So double move.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He looks down at you, like, and backs off, like just gives you a free swing.
Okay.
Pacifist, he gave you a free swing.
What's that?
Things change.
Hey,
Surrender
he was-
or you will be
surrender,
killed.
surrender,
You
you be
back
killed.
up,
He
and
starts
I'm
to back
gonna get
away.
You're like, ah! Is he like he's backing away like to run?
Yeah, sure, but he starts to back away. He starts to backpedal from you.
That's what you sort of rolled to attack. I was like, you just told him to surrender. Looked like that's what he was doing.
It's
He
a little
didn't
late,
drop
yeah.
his weapon.
That's fine.
So
What'd you get?
Okay, I say that as a
15.
free action.
That hits.
Okay. Reroll that. So that's going to be 13 damage.
Okay. And then he shoots you with his bow.
Yeah. So he's like,
Yeah.
Point blank. Tunk.
19.
Hits.
I was waiting here. At 20.
6d10.
Knowing you, buddy, but now you don't gotta get married.
Flip those. Though that was 28.
ugh.
8, 9, 10 on the dice. Shrunk.
Right.
Is that like over half your hit points?
Oh yeah.
He's like, you surrender.
I've had worse.
All you see is vomit that comes out of the tree
It's
from
like
Dava.
stuck through his chest. It's holding him up on the ground. I've had worse.
You liar.
What are you down to?
14.
All right, you're good. You can take another one. Your turn, Morden.
Part of me wants to stop running up there. Like, was that a challenge he just issued?
Not funny.
5, 10, 15, 25. And I'll pull out a little throwing hammer.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. I have hand axes. I'll chuck a hand axe over there.
Okay.
I'll chuck 2 hand axes over there. Do I have 2? I have 2. 25
That'll hit.
and 24.
That'll hit.
All right. Total.
So your 2 axes go and they stick into the thick hides that he's wearing, and they he's jerks back a little bit. And they kind of fall out onto the ground. Then they didn't go in very deep.
Tickles.
Looks up at you, Dava.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Okay.
Uh, 17.
That'll hit.
And now I have all of my sneak attack because they're close, right? No?
I think
We're not
you
No,
have
adjacent.
you have to be close.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's
It's
her
my
ally.
ally.
Oh,
But they're-
neither one of them are.
adjacent.
Neither
Yeah.
one is adjacent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. I thought she still had to be within 30 feet. too.
Mm-mm.
I might be thinking older edition.
I might be.
She's hidden. Does she get her sneak attack if she's hidden from the attack?
She might. I think it might actually be as long as you have advantage on the roll.
Oh.
Yeah. So you'll get sneak attack on that then.
Yeah, you will.
So then I would have gotten it last turn too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get it if you have advantage on an attack roll,
So 12, 16 damage.
All right.
and then you don't.
Oh wait,
need
I forgot by
advantage
1. 17 damage.
Okay.
if you have a friend within 5 feet,
Right.
and you don't have disadvantage.
Yep. Corlin.
And there's no range.
So yeah, I would have had it last time too.
I will.
Well, I mean, with a bow, once you're past your
Right.
initial range, you have disadvantage on attack rolls. So
Right.
that's kind of as long as you're within that short range.
But you could be long range with like True Strike or something else.
No,
funky.
because advantage, disadvantage, no matter how many times you get it.
Oh, that's right.
We'll walk up
Goes
and
away.
draw my sword and fire a magic missile.
Okay.
You're walking up?
Mm-hmm. As far as I can. 30. So that's 5. It's 11.
All right. So what do they look like?
Coming out of the sword,
Yep.
I get to make that up too.
Yes, sir. It's still your magic.
Okay. They are going to be like balls of purple flame
Okay.
out of the sword.
So they go streaking out and strike this creature in the chest, and blast just holes right through the middle of this thing, and it like drops to its knees, and like blood's coming out of its mouth, and it's like, oh, you got me, little thing, you got me, but Gerb and Greb are coming, and they'll get you, and his bear too, and then he falls on his face.
Great.
He stops breathing.
Bear.
The after image of my mace rejoins.
Right.
Joins up with your mace.
I will.
Well, that woke me up.
I'm gonna climb out of the tree, dash over to where they are, hand Amboth the other healing potion, and then climb back up into the tree just in case.
Okay.
This one now.
Don't drink that.
Where in the nine hells were you this whole time?
And I reach over and touch you.
Yes, I think it's better we save it in more of an emergency.
I climb back down the tree. I take my potion back, climb back up the tree.
I'm like poking at him because I haven't seen these before.
Yeah.
Big brutish guy. I'm like, what makes them so tough? Is this a gravity thing? Is this like
15.
unrestricted muscle mass?
Okay, give me my other bag, guys.
The rest you'll have to do yourself.
Yeah, I'll use lay on hands on myself for 13. So I'm back up to full.
So yeah, kind of a quiet settles over the swamp area here. You just hear the slow trickle of the river, but the disruption, obviously what is a predator animal here, has quieted the insects and birds and lizards in the area at the moment. And so kind of a hush prevails. Yeah, you're poking and prodding. Which one are you poking and prodding at?
Probably the one we're closest
The one you were
to.
just up to?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like the bow is really crude, very simply made. Some type of sinew for the string, and yeah, ballista style arrows. Doesn't carry a club like the other two do.
Oh, he doesn't have a melee weapon at all.
Not at all.
Wow. If I
And-
just step back, like whatever.
It looks like he only had about 3 arrows left after that too. And I mean, he has like I said, this crude hide armor, and like what you would probably consider a pouch. You consider a small sack like tied to his waist, and they all seem to have something like that as well.
Well, while the hush is there and it doesn't seem like there's any threats, I'm going to collect my arrows.
Okay.
Yeah, get my axes. Do the pouches jingle or do they squish? What do they?
No, they clang like stone.
Stone. Yeah, I'm gonna have to open that bag now because now I'm curious.
So you open it up, and there's these just like gray granite pieces of stone that as you start to like kind of look at them moving around, you see they look like parts of broken statues, like fingers or like maybe bits of weapons or even jewelry, part of a face. And they're all roughly this size or smaller, and they're extremely lifelike, like really high quality carvings.
Okay. Well, this doesn't go well, but good craftsmanship.
What did you find?
The bits and pieces of statuary.
What statuary? Does
You can make a stone cutting check on these.
These were once people.
15.
Yeah, they're extremely well done. You can't really see any chisel marks, or which could be polished off after the fact, but
Right.
very, very, very high quality.
They were once people.
But we've probably never really run across anything like that, have we?
Oh, you know, magic can do that.
Oh, that's true. It's either really good craftsmanship or wizardry.
They could be desecrating the temple.
Or that's somebody's face.
there were statues in the temple, but they were like a white alabaster, and this is more like a gray granite. And looking at the face, it's elven. Like the details of the face make you think it's elven or at least half elven.
Between the 3 sacks, do they make, like, are there any pieces that match up?
A few pieces here and there, but they look like they're from a lot of different pieces.
Like a lot of different statues.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The moon was populated.
Hmm.
There were cities here,
Elven cities.
mostly.
Well, we should continue forward.
Let's get back to the river. What will come will come. We need to get to the temple.
I agree.
All right. Ambath, what are you doing?
I'm taking the arrow out of my person.
Well, you threw a healing spell on him, right? That probably pushed it out of you as the flesh is re-knitting.
And then I healed myself some with lay on hands.
Okay.
Yeah, but these guys were a good challenge, but sounds like there's more challenge to come. So this land is tainted and they're a part of the problem.
Well, the problem is Grib and Nib, is that what I said?
Grab and-
Berg and Greb were the ones
I don't know what I
got
got
for.
there. Okay.
Knob and Bob.
And a bear.
And a bear.
Yeah.
Not Bob and Dob were the other ones, yeah.
Mm.
All right, so you guys continue on a ways back at the river. Okay, we can switch away from the cam if we haven't already, and you guys get back to the river and just continue your trek. A little more wary now, knowing that there are creatures here that may be hostile to you. If being put in a soup pot is hostile.
Right. I
Um,
figure that's hostile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to kind of a bend in the river. And as you're approaching, you're remembering like a small, like trading post being here, like outpost. There was never any like wars or anything here, so it wasn't walled or anything like that. It was just like a few wayside inns and a place for people who were traveling to the temple to stop and rest if they wanted to from the teleport area to the temple. It was kind of like a pilgrimage. Like it was the reason that doesn't teleport you straight to the temple is it was like meant to be like a sojourn here. And as you get close, you see, of course, that the buildings are gone. Like the ruin is complete here still. You see bits and pieces of wall sticking out of like the ground, even out of the water here and there. Like looks like low parts of foundation still, and scattered about are strange like crumbled pillars. And as you get closer, you see that they're statues that have just not weathered well or been beaten on with large clubs and broken apart. But you can see that it looks like elven people, the bits that are around still.
Like they were
And-
changed.
Yeah, and like there's some that are just like that are mostly intact, other than like they're broken in half, like a somewhat clean break in half, but they're posed like in terror or horror. And I'll let you make like a perception or a medicine check, whichever's better.
$20.
25.
18.
I was only at 13.
Okay. Anybody got a 15 or better?
5.
Okay. So 3 of you. They look like they're either looking like down or not quite level. Like they're all looking down a little ways. Not like you would expect like some big cataclysmic event happen and they'd be like looking up but like they're looking at something that's smaller than them, all of them.
Oh, so they look normal to me because that's how everyone looks
Yes.
when they look at me.
They
Yes.
saw
That's why I'm 13. I was like,
They all look like they're looking at halflings.
what would have caused this?
bad stuffs. They look scared.
like find in like one that's intact, but like its arms
Like a
are
clean
off
break.
or something.
Well, most of them have been like broken in half.
Right.
But you could like set the torso back up and you're gonna try to mend.
Yeah, and I'll mend a few.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sneaky, I like it. Sneaky, I like that.
There's no way of
Mend is
bringing
the
them
best
back.
cantrip. What?
There's no way of bringing them back.
Not within my power. But I suspect that may not be the case for the moon goddess.
Very well. We should still carry on.
From within the ruins,
Naturally.
you hear like a large reptilian hissing. Now it's still like that's still a little distance off from you guys are around these statues, but like you hear something like kind of crawl out of the water, out of the muck, and like you hear one, and then two, and then three.
Let's go.
Is that behind us?
It's off to the side, so you could easily continue your route.
Let's go.
Yeah, continue the route. Like, if they want to chase us and engage, then that's fine, but... we've got
I
to get
just
to the
have a
temple.
bad feeling about snakes.
I don't think no, I don't think there's snakes.
If we leave them unrestored and they get turned back, they'll be turned back into pieces. But these are your people. I'll let you decide.
You don't even like my people.
Just because you say that.
They're
now.
still people.
They stop. Like,
You think there's at least 5 or 6 now.
What if the snakes are what turns the people to stone?
that's probably
That's
what it
likely
is.
what it is, but they're already stone.
I think sometimes it's better to know when to run and when to fight. I
I
say we
like to
move
be
on
able to look at the
fast.
things that I fight. And I'm going to be eye level with whatever the hissing is.
I say we go now.
We can't.
What are you guys doing? I'm hearing a lot of talk, but no motion yet.
I am watching Corlin, and I will
I'm gonna start
do as he
moving.
directs.
I walked down along the river.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get to the temple. My thought is if we can free Shanae, then she can wait to bring them back until we come back, and then we'll fight the creatures then.
Okay. So, yeah, you guys start moving away. I mean, it doesn't sound like whatever's coming is like in a hurry. Like it's more investigating the noises that you were making, messing with the stones. But I mean, picking stones up, clunk, clunk. You know, there's a lot of noise going on here, and there's a lot of pieces you're kicking around and stuff too. But yeah, you guys continue on, and it sounds, you get a glance back out of the ruins, like almost like a crocodilian creature coming out, really large lizard, not like poking its head around, and then it just kind of goes back in. But it was big, like eat halflings big.
Most things here are.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys get going. Like, what kind of pace are you setting? Because you want to get there.
I'm setting a very fast pace, so brisk walk.
Okay.
I'm an elf, so that's pretty quick.
Like an elven power walk.
Yeah.
So as you guys are following this route still, and I'm gonna have everybody in the group make me a perception check, and it's DC 15.
18.
6.
17.
Apparently, combat is the only thing I do.
9.
19.
Okay, so as you guys are going, like the 3 of you get this like uh-oh moment, and you just kind of like just duck flat to the ground, and this like out of like just a nearby tree, this like swinging branch comes around, and underneath it is like a net gathered up, and the net comes over and scoops the 2 of you up. And you hear this just very similar to the voices you heard earlier from Knob and crew, but deeper. And you hear Well, Greb, I told you that trick would work. Caught 2 of the little rabbits. Berg, you were right this time, but there's still 3. Send in the bear. And we're going to end the session there, rather than going into another combat right here. It is close to 9 o'clock. We are trying to start shooting our closing time for around 9:15. So this is a good time to wrap up. I hope you guys had fun exploring the moon and turning some hopefully normal encounters into something a little more interesting too.
Yeah, I like them. Those were fun.
And we're gonna open with one next week.
We are going to open with one next week. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks again for tuning in to Immersion RPG. We are once again the Chaotic Knight Network. If you like our show, please follow us here on Twitch. September is a great month to give out those subs at the reduced prices. So if you're looking to subscribe, we would definitely appreciate that as well. Lets us bring better and more high quality content to you. Also check out our website, chaoticnight.com, where we have all of our social media stuff, and you can find us on YouTube as well under Chaotic Knight Network. Anyhow, thanks for tuning in. Have a great night. We'll be back next Thursday.